Okay, this morning we're going to go for a drive in my 1979 Mercedes 450 SEL 6.9.
From the right.
Okay, so the 6.9, and that's how the car was referred to, 6.9 versus 450 SEL, was sold in the U.S. from 1977 to 1980, and that noise you hear, by the way, is the sunroof. It was produced in total from 75 to 81. The car, the predecessor to this vehicle was the Mercedes 300 SEL 6.3, which I have on the website. The car has a 6.858 liter engine that produces 286 horsepower and 400 pounds of torque. That wasn't full acceleration there. The car also has hydropneumatic suspension, which was, I think, new for Mercedes then. It originally came from Citroën, a French car maker, and versus the 6.3, which had airbag suspension. This has hydraulic balls on it. I don't know exactly what you call them. And they're filled with, they have a bladder and they have nitrogen, and the hydraulic fluid pushes at that bladder, and that's what it controls the suspension. This car has brand new units on it, so the suspension, the ride's very good. The car also was, I believe, the first car that Mercedes put anti-lock brakes on in I think in 77. So the car was fairly special. I mean, everybody knows today the S65, the V12 big Mercedes sedan, which is a $200,000 car. This car was really the same thing of its day. Largest engine that Mercedes had ever put in a car. Its predecessor was the fastest, being the 6.3, the fastest production car in the world from a top speed perspective back in its time, 1968, 69, 150 miles an hour. This car probably has comparable speed capabilities. It was also extremely expensive. Proportionally, you'd say a Rolls-Royce and a Bentley were in the mid-40s, which is where actually this car, fully loaded, was sold. So it was in pretty rarefied air for a Mercedes sedan. You know, in today's dollars, that would be, I'm sure, well over $200,000. So very few people could really afford this car. This actual car is a car I found here in Wichita. It was Kansas purchased and serviced right here in town, and I think the family owned it up until 2016, when another collector bought it, and then I bought it from him. So it's pretty much all original except for the paint. The paint had some burn marks in it from over buffing, which basically required me to do a full repaint in the car. Doesn't have the stock radio, but I kind of like listening to CDs at times, so I've kept that in there. Eventually I'll probably change it out. Everything in this car works, including the cruise control, which is extremely rare to find in a car, particularly in 1979, so that old, that the cruise control actually performs still. I have late 80s cars, early 90s cars, the cruise control doesn't work. Air conditioning works, everything works, the clock even works. So, good car. I'll run it up here, and I'm not going to do full throttle because I don't think this is a race car, but we'll get on the highway up here and see. Do a little bit of acceleration in it if I don't get blocked. Okay, that concludes our drive today, and hope you've learned a little bit about the Mercedes 6.9, and thanks for coming along. Bye.